Have you ever wondered, what is the meaning of life? Or, how can I find peace amidst the chaos of daily life? If so, you are not alone. Welcome to my channel, Buddha's Teachings, where together we will explore the profound wisdom of Buddhism and discover the answers to these timeless questions. Let me guide you into a special story, an experience that opened a new door of wisdom and enlightenment before my eyes. It was a meeting unlike any other in my life, a rare occasion where I had the chance to engage and learn from the great masters of the Buddhist world. I was honored to attend a remarkable gathering, bringing together wise meditation teachers, seasoned scholars, and monks and lay practitioners from all corners of the world. This encounter was far more than a simple event. It was truly a feast of wisdom and compassion. Each conversation, each exchange, offered profound lessons and moments of deep reflection. In this sacred space, I witnessed interactions filled with insight and kindness, along with delicate analyses of Buddhist teachings and how these teachings can transform our everyday lives. I had the honor of attending a remarkable conference, a gathering of wise Zen masters, seasoned scholars, and devoted Buddhist monks and nuns from all corners of the world. This gathering was not just an ordinary event, it was truly a feast of wisdom and compassion, where every conversation and every shared moment offered profound lessons and thought-provoking insights. In this solemn space, I witnessed interactions filled with wisdom and compassion and delicate discussions on Buddhist teachings and how they can transform our everyday lives. The first thing, and what struck me the most, was the lesson I received from these masters at the conference. It was a lesson that not only made me reflect deeply, but also left me in awe of their understanding and wisdom. You might be feeling a sense of excitement and anticipation, and believe me, this story will not disappoint. Let me share this story with you now, for I believe it will offer you new perspectives and invaluable lessons, just as it did for me. He began with a simple yet profound question: "Why are you here today?" He looked around the room, observing the curious and somewhat puzzled expressions on the students' faces. "You all have jobs? You have other responsibilities? Yet you chose to spend 3 hours coming here, sitting down, and listening. Why?" He smiled and continued, "This shows that you have prioritized this. For you, this is important, and you made the decision to set aside time for it." He explained that in life, every action we take reflects our priorities. When we eat, we never forget, no matter how busy the day gets. When we need to cleanse ourselves, we still make time for it, because these are our priorities in life. We also often find time for social media because it has become a priority in modern life. But why, he continued, do we find it difficult to set aside just 10 minutes for meditation or spiritual practice? No matter how busy life gets, why can't we prioritize moments of stillness, moments to reconnect with ourselves and with the deeper values of life? Achieving balance in life isn't easy, he acknowledged, but it is possible if we know how to allocate our time and energy wisely. By prioritizing activities that bring long-term value and meaning to our lives, such as meditation and spiritual practice, we create space for what truly matters. With this, he conveyed a profound lesson on the importance of aligning our daily actions with our deeper values, reminding us that true fulfillment comes from placing the right priorities at the center of our lives. And to clarify this point, I'd like to share with you a story, a life lesson, to help you better visualize and gain a more accurate understanding of our lives and how they ought to operate. This story will serve as a guide, offering you a clearer perspective on the rhythms of life and the way we should navigate its flow. Through this lesson, I hope to shed light on the deeper values that shape our daily existence and how we can align our actions to lead a more meaningful and harmonious life. In a philosophy class led by a renowned local professor, he entered the room carrying a large empty glass jar under his arm. This immediately caught the students' attention. He placed the jar on the table before everyone, and from beneath the table, He pulled out a pile of large stones, each about the size of a fist. He carefully placed the stones into the jar, one by one, until no more could fit. Turning to the class, he asked, "Is the jar full?" Seeing that no more stones could be added, the students nodded and replied, "Yes, it's full." The professor then pulled out a bag of pebbles and began pouring them into the jar, shaking it gently. The pebbles, much smaller than the stones, rolled into the spaces between the rocks. Again, he asked, "Is the jar full now?" Some students, beginning to grasp his point, hesitated, but many still agreed, "Yes, now it's full." Next, the professor took out a bag of sand and began to pour it into the jar. The fine grains of sand filled all the remaining spaces between the stones and pebbles. For the third time, he asked, "Is the jar full now?" The students, now catching on, responded, "Probably not." Finally, the professor took out a jug of water and poured it into the jar, saturating the sand. Only then did he agree that the jar was truly full. He turned to the class and explained, "I want you to realize that this jar represents your life. The stones are the most important things, your family, your health, your friends, those things that even if everything else were lost, if these remained, your life would still be full. The pebbles are the other things that matter, your job, your house, your possessions. The sand represents all the small stuff, the trivial things. If you fill the jar with sand or pebbles first, there will be no room for the stones." The professor smiled, recognizing the thoughtful question. "Ah, the water," he said, pausing for a moment. The water represents something often overlooked, but essential. Joy, relaxation, and the moments that fill the cracks of our busy lives. Even when we think our lives are packed to the brim with responsibilities, tasks, and commitments, we can still make room for things that refresh our spirit. These are the simple pleasures: taking a walk in nature, sharing laughter with friends, practicing mindfulness, or simply breathing deeply. He continued, "Water seeps into every space, even the smallest gaps between rocks, pebbles, and sand. Just like that, joy and peace have the ability to flow through all aspects of your life if you allow them. They don't take up much space in the jar, but they make everything else more fluid, more balanced. Without them, even if you have all your priorities in order, your life can feel rigid, dry, and burdened." The students sat in thoughtful silence, absorbing the lesson. The professor concluded, "So, while the rocks are the foundation and structure of your life, and the pebbles and sand fill it with necessary details, don't forget the water. It's what makes life flow. No matter how full your jar seems, there's always room for a little bit of water, room for moments of peace, joy, and connection." As the class ended, the students left the room with a deeper understanding of how to prioritize their lives. They had not only learned a lesson about balance, but also about the importance of cultivating joy and mindfulness in even the busiest of lives. The professor's words echoed in their minds. At the end of your journey, it's the rocks that will carry the most weight, defining the true value and meaning of your life. The rest is just pebbles, sand, and a little water to make it all flow. The professor smiled at her insightful question and responded, "Ah, the water. The water represents that no matter how full your life is, there's always room for a cup of coffee or tea with a friend. No matter how busy you are, there's always space for those small moments of joy, relaxation, and connection with others. In our lives, we often find ourselves trying to balance our priorities, fitting everything into the limited hours of the day. We get so caught up in the small, trivial tasks that we sometimes forget what truly matters. This jar, our life, is not infinite. It only has a certain amount of space. If we choose to fill it first with sand and pebbles, the trivial and secondary things, there will be no room left for the rocks, the things that truly hold value and meaning. So I urge you, focus on the rocks first. Your family, your health, your passions, and your dreams. These are the aspects of life that, when everything else is stripped away, will still leave you feeling fulfilled and content. Take care of these precious rocks first. Spend time with the people you love and care about. Nurture your physical and mental well-being and pursue your passions fearlessly. And in doing so, don't forget to leave space for learning, growth, and kindness. The water represents the unexpected, the unplanned things, coffee with friends, spontaneous laughter, and moments of shared joy. Even when life feels too full, there's always room for these. There's always space to connect, to relax, to simply exist. The pebbles and sand will fill in around the important things. They are the necessary tasks and responsibilities, but they shouldn't consume all your time or energy. They should never crowd out the space reserved for your rocks. Finally, remember, it's not about having a busy life filled to the brim, but about living a life that is full and rich with experiences that truly matter to you. It's about not just counting the days, but making the days count. It's about balancing the rocks, pebbles, sand, and water in a way that enriches your life and brings you true joy. Thank you for watching my video.